Gwyneth Paltrow sued for millions in ski crash. Oscar-winning actress and businesswoman Gwyneth Paltrow is in court this week for a civil trial over a 2016 collision with another skier, with the case raising questions about who is legally liable when collisions occur on the slopes. She is accused of skiing carelessly and injuring herself. She might have to pay $300,000 for this case, or about the cost of her organic lentils every week. Gwyneth Paltrow has recently found herself on the wrong side of a ski slope and the law. The Iron Man actress was sued for millions after she allegedly crashed into a fellow skier, causing them serious injury. The man who is suing Gwyneth over a ski crash testifies about a serious smack. Terry Sanderson, who is 76, is suing the actor for more than $300,000 over the collision in 2016, claiming that she skied recklessly into him from behind. On Monday, the closely watched trial in Utah entered its second week. According to Terry Anderson, Paltrow was to blame for a ski accident that resulted in the fracture of 4 ribs and head trauma that Sanderson claims led to post-concussion syndrome. Gwyneth testifies that she felt violated in the Utah ski accident. The retired optometrist claimed that he heard a blood-curdling scream shortly after passing "slow it down" signs on the slope. It seemed as though someone was losing control and was about to fall from a tree and pass away. Sanderson testified, "I got hit in the back so hard, a serious smack." He claimed to have been lifted into the air and observed a lot of snow. "I was in flight. All of a sudden, everything went black." Sanderson said that the next thing he knew, someone was mad at me and shouting, "Do you realize that you didn't ski according to the rules?" He stated that he felt like the bad guy was being made of him, and stated, "Just a very irate person trying to bully me into thinking it was my fault." Sanderson's attorney told the court at the beginning of the trial that Paltrow had screamed prior to the collision and then bounced off Sanderson, rendering him unconscious. He also claimed that the collision's injuries had affected him physically and mentally. "Now I'm living a different life," he declared. He said his right leg had its own thoughts of where it should be and could never ski again. He had been told that he had a very high chance of ending up in a nursing home if he did and had another crash. Sanderson stated that he had mental big gaps in his thinking. He stated, "It's as if I'm building a case and until I get to the subject, they don't know what I'm talking about. I feel like I cannot connect because everything is reversed." Craig Ramone, the only person who was there when the crash happened, said that he heard a loud scream and saw Paltrow hit Sanderson. He saw Sanderson fall to the beginner run in a spread eagle position after his skis flew into the air. Ramone's account differs from Paltrow's and her legal team's. The court has heard that Paltrow's ski instructor yelled at Sanderson right after the crash, "How did you respond? What were you up to?" The Oscar-winning actor testified on Friday that 2 skis wedged between her skis and separated her legs. Before both skiers fell into the snow, she said she heard a grunting noise and a body pressing against hers. Paltrow said that because he was making some strange noises that sounded male, she thought the collision was a sexual assault. Paltrow says she didn't get some information about Sanderson's condition after the impact, however stayed close by long enough for him to say that he was alright. She stated that the accident had upset her, and after lunch she had scheduled a massage and took the remainder of the day off from the slopes. Similar to the defamation case involving Johnny Depp and Amber Heard from last year, this trial has become a popular source of online commentary, videos, and memes centered on Paltrow's testimony. After Judge Holmberg ruled out punitive damages, Sanderson amended his initial $3.1 million lawsuit against Paltrow, and his claim is now $300,000. In comparison to the $8,800 she paid to take her family skiing that day, Paltrow is seeking $1 in damages. However, she is also seeking reimbursement for possible tens of thousands of dollars in legal fees. It's likely that Paltrow's children, Apple Martin and Moses Martin, and TV producer Brad Falchuk, who was Paltrow's boyfriend at the time and now husband, will be called to testify on her behalf. But Sanderson will get all the attention. Paltrow's lawyers are likely to repeat claims made in court documents that his lawsuit amounts to an attempt to exploit her fame and wealth during cross-examination. Sanderson sent out an email with the subject line, "I'm famous," shortly after the accident. The email contained a GoPro video that is now missing. Sanderson acknowledged sending the email on Monday and testified, "I don't like to worship celebrities." He said he had just been attempting to appease his little girls. He stated, "I didn't choose my words very carefully. My attempt to lighten things up backfired." Paltrow's legal advisors will reasonably inquire Sanderson on the post-blackout side effects, clinical specialists, and his PCPs affirmed about a week ago. Holly Sanderson Gresham, Sanderson's 49-year-old daughter, testified that Sanderson had been a goer prior to the accident but had since become disengaged. Gresham confirmed Sanderson's obsession with the incident during cross-examination. After the ski accident, he traveled to Europe, Peru, Morocco, the Canary Islands, Thailand, and ziplined in Costa Rica, raising concerns about whether he was an abusive father. Paltrow, who is filing a countersuit for a symbolic $1 and legal fees, claims that Sanderson struck her. She initially considered it to be sexual assault, and again, as she affirmed, while I was skiing, a body was pressing against me and two skates came between my legs. Cut said he's tried dozens or more of these cases in Utah, and the judgment always hinges on who the jury believes were the uphill and downhill skiers. In this trial, Sanderson says he was a downhill skier and she ran into him from behind. She says exactly the opposite, that she was skiing along and he plowed into her from uphill. So what it's going to come down to is the jury is going to listen to everybody about the collision itself and the aftermath and decide who they think is credible and who isn't. And the fact that it's Gwyneth Paltrow is the big elephant in the room. Paltrow maintained her composure on the witness stand for more than 2 hours despite having been in court for 4 days. While she categorically denied being to blame for the collision, the Park City jury remained captivated. When Terry Sanderson, the retired optometrist who is suing her, takes the stand first on Monday, he is expected to provide an opposing account of the crash. The founder and CEO of Goop calmly and repeatedly stated during the much-anticipated testimony that Sanderson, who was sitting several feet away from her in the courtroom, ran into her, resulting in the two skiers being splayed out on the beginner run with Paltrow on top and Sanderson beneath her. In the seconds after the crash, Paltrow recognized that she shouted at Sanderson and didn't stop to inquire as to whether he was alright. She testified that one of the 4 ski instructors in her family promised to give Sanderson her contact information and file an instant report while she stood nearby on the mountain. In an exchange that touched on recurring themes of the trial, Sanderson's attorneys attempted to portray the decision as reflective of celebrity carelessness, while Paltrow insisted that she was the wounded party rather than the 76-year-old man suing her. She stated, "You must remember, when you're the victim of a crash, your psychology is not necessarily thinking about the person who perpetrated it." To cause the jury to notice Paltrow's riches, Sanderson's legal counselors tested Paltrow about the cost of ski educators at the opulent Deer Valley Resort and her choice to pass on the mountain to get a back rub the day of the accident. Trial touches on celebrity burden Sanderson and his multiple attorneys once dispersed throughout the courtroom to possibly reenact the crash for the jury, whose members cheered after days of yawning through jargon-rich medical testimony about his broken ribs, concussion, and brain damage. Paltrow was left sitting on the witness stand as the lawyer questioned her about her portrayal of the Oscar-winning actor because her attorney subjected to her taking part in such a reenactment. Paltrow's team, medical professionals, ski instructors, and her 2 children, Moses and Apple, might summon her back to the stand the following week. To this end, I care very little about skiing, golfing, or attempting to comprehend the wealthy. I hope that the jury has Advil hidden beneath each seat. Trying to figure this out will give you a migraine. The basic facts cannot be agreed upon by either side. It's as though there was a car accident in which one driver accused the other of T-boning. The fact that this trial, now in its 2nd week, is already a meme-a-thon of weirdness is not helping matters. Fortunately, her legal team was able to work out an undisclosed settlement with the victim, removing Gwyneth from any potential mountain of trouble she may have been facing. But as they say, hindsight is 20/20, so if you're gonna hit the slopes, make sure to watch your back and those around you. Otherwise, you wind up looking like Gwyneth, looking at the possibility of mountains of death. Good luck out there, snow bunnies, and don't forget to ski safe. That is all for today. I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.